So when we're doing the warm-ups for our post drills, we're going to use like a 10-yard area. But for this video, we're just going to demonstrate the exercises. Essentially, like from that 10-yard area, you'll have a start point, you'll have an end point, and you're going to do this drill halfway. And then after that, you just run how you run your stride. First one is going to be picking up the knees. So high knees, landing on the balls of your foot. And so you're bringing the knees up. So you're doing the drill halfway that 10 yards. And after that, you're just running. Second drill is going to be your butt kickers. Heel to butt. So ready? And go. Heel to butt. Doing the drill for 5 yards and doing a small jog after. Our next warm-up drill is going to be your bunny hops or your two-leg hops. So you're going to be nice and soft on your knees. And you're basically hopping like a bunny. Ensure that you're leaning forward here, so that way as you move forward and do the 5 yards, and after that you just run. Next one is going to be your skip hop or Super Mario's. You can add the hand action if you want to. All right, and go. Doing the drill halfway and then run at the end. And then the next two drills, you can do the karyokas, which is the side-to-side stepping, or you can also do a backwards back pedal activity for that warm-up. And those are our warm-up drills. So now we're jumping into the post drills. Essentially, again, it's going to be working on just how your body perception is, and starting with this unweighing activity. So I want you to be in that springy position. So feet shoulder width apart and knees are slightly bent. I want you to really engage your core here. Be tall. Keep your head straight. I want you leaning forward, bending at the back. Just nice and straight. All right. If you want to engage a little bit more core activity here, you can close your hands, squeeze. That works as a synergistic control, getting all those core muscles engaged as well too. All right. So essentially now at this point, you're going to rock forward to the ball of your foot. I want you to essentially feel that gravity take over, kind of like, hey, I need to move forward, but I want to keep that heel down still, essentially, as you rock forward. I want you to try and hold that there for about 10 to 15 seconds. I don't want you to come up on your toes. Do not do that. Do not do that. Keep the heels kissing onto the floor here. And then for the rest, rock back. All right. Essentially, you'll feel when you rock back, forces at the heel. Sometimes you might feel like, hey, your knees want to straighten up. Again, that's essentially from running. That's what, when you're striding out, you're locking out that leg. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead and rock forward here again. Try not to stay there for a while. Try to really get attuned to landing or putting the forces on the ball of your foot. And this is our body weight perception. Try to do this about 2 or 3 sets, about 10 to 15 second hold on the front, about 5-second hold at the back. Our next drill is called going into pose. All right, so now you are in that springy knee position. So from that springy knee position, essentially now you're going to pick up one leg. All right, so going into the pose to the left, we're picking up that right leg. I want you to try and pick it up, and as soon as you land it, try to go faster at each time. As soon as you touch it, so as soon as you touch down, you're picking it up. You're always going to be in that springy position. You're always going to keep that angle on that knee. You don't want to lock out the knee during this activity. And as you can tell, he's really putting all that weight on the ball of his foot. Heels coming off a little bit off the ground, and really working on that hamstring muscle as well too. Remember, a faster, harder, and higher hamstring pull allows your leg to shoot down much more closer to your center of gravity. All right, go ahead and switch to the other side and go. I'm doing about 10 to 15 repetitions. And doing at least 2 sets. So the next drill is going to be the post challenges. Essentially, one of the partners is going to be pushing his partner while he's in the post position. This creates a little bit more of hip stability, ankle stability, and also work on your core stability as well too. So Captain Smith here, go ahead and go into the post position. All right, and try to hold that position. Sir, you're going to be pushing him, nudging him, challenging him in different areas. You're going to be nudging him, kind of like challenging him. Try to do that for about 10 seconds. And go ahead and switch legs. And try to make that force come in from all different directions. Give him a little bit of, and it's okay if you lose balance here. Just go back into the pose position and relax. Now it's your turn. Go ahead. Keep your knees slightly relaxed there. There you go. And go. So keeping your knees relaxed and getting into that helps to trigger that hip stability. If you're locking in the knees, that might engage more your quads, and that's when we're gonna have a lot more of that anterior knee issues. Go ahead and switch legs here. So about 10 seconds per each leg, and then switching out and with your partner every 10 seconds. I mean, every 10 seconds for 3 sets. This next drill is going to be your transitions. Just a disclaimer, you want to try and move forward with this. So for the purpose of the video, you're going to listen to the cadence and pick up on the transitions as we change the speed of the sound. We're going to start slow and learning how to pull that leg, and essentially at the end we're going to go to 180 beats per minute. All right, it's almost similarly to jogging in place at that point. So let's go ahead and get into the post position. Post on your left. All right, so right leg is up. All right, and when you hear the clapping sound, I want you to just pull up that leg. Don't move forward, just stay in place. Ready? Pull. 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 Quick pulls. And now we're going faster. Now this is 160 beats per minute. This is almost the same cadence as most running soldiers are here. And 180 beats per minute. And relax. Our first fall drill is essentially your wall falls. We're going to start off like how we did it in post position, by being in the springy position. So feet shoulder width apart, knees are slightly flexed. I want you to kind of like look straight at the wall, don't look at your feet. And think of Michael Jackson here when you fall straight forward. All right, try to kind of keep your body nice and straight, and try to kind of keep your heels still on the ground as you rock forward. Go ahead and start putting weight on the ball of your foot and then falling forward. There you go. We're going to do at least about 10 to 15 per set here. As soon as you kind of like, Yeah, try not to hit the wall. All right, make sure you support yourself. And the heels will come off. The heels will come off, and you're still going to try to kind of keep it down. What I want you to try and avoid is that heel off. You push off on your foot. All right. So from that, now we're going to move into that post position now. So you're in post position. You're staying in one leg and essentially falling into the wall about 10 to 15 times in that position. Go. So still essentially in that springy position. At times, like when they start fatiguing, I want them to really engage that hamstring. Get that number 4 shape in the body. That essentially tells me that, hey, that is your pose position. Heels come off generally, that's fine. Again, avoiding that push off. And trying to keep that core engaged. Try not to hit your face on the wall by keeping the head up. Go ahead and switch here, sir. There you go. All right. Nice quick switch and go. Okay, so our next drill is working on our transitions from stepping into. So go ahead and lean into the wall, both hands. All right, and I want you to get into one of the post positions. So keep the left knee slightly flexed, so you're still in that springy position, and you're gonna still listen to the cadence as it goes. All right, so when you hear that clapping sound, you're gonna transition, pick up that one foot, and move to another step. Ready and go. So working on that pulling. And now we're going faster. Getting into 180 beats per minute. And stop. So taking from that transitions, we're going to take away the cue, the clapping cue. This time is going to be more of how gravity falls on you. Now I want you to take a step back, move a little bit further from the wall, try to kind of get a little bit more space from you to move. All right, so I want you to be in that post position again. All right, and essentially now you're going to lean forward and find that transition point. And when you find that transition point, that's going to be where you pull. I want you to emphasize on a quick, rapid, high pull. Really allow that leg to shoot down below you. Try to go a little bit more faster. And pull. There we go. And pull. There we go. So the drill with this is that you're focusing on how you lean into it. Try to look straight and look at the wall so that way you know where it's at. And really, when you're running, you're not looking at the ground. So you want to emphasize keeping your core engaged, keeping your body straight, and your eyes into your pathway. And essentially, as you start pulling higher, stronger, and faster, that other leg shoots quicker right below your center mass. Our next drill involves a little bit of trust falls, but this is your partner assisted falling activities. This is going to be followed directly by running activities as well too. So Captain Smith here is going to be the runner. Captain Morose here is going to be his partner holding him up, being the wall here. All right. So Captain Smith now will go into the wall. Go into the post position. All right. Go into the post position. Captain Rose now is going to be holding his partner, and then as Captain Smith leans forward, that really puts a lot of that emphasis of that fall. This is now your forward position. Gravity is now trying to move Captain Smith forward. Right? As your partners, Captain Rose is going to give the cue to Captain Smith so that way he can begin running. Sir?
3, 2, 1.
So our first pulling activity here, and again, this really emphasizes on our hamstring strengthening. Right? We're trying to strengthen to power, range of motion, and wake up that fast twitch muscle. All right, so now we're going to do our Nordic hamstrings here. This is similar to an eccentric action. You're keeping the muscle loaded, contracted, into a lengthening position. So Captain Smith will be holding down the legs of Captain Rose, and Captain Rose is going to be nice and straight, engage his core, and he's going to fall slowly into the floor in a front leaning rest. As he comes up, he's just going to push himself up. He's not going to try and come up into a concentric position. All we're trying to really work on is that eccentric unloading in the hamstrings. And we're doing at least 5 to 10 repetitions per set. You can do about 3 to 5 sets for this exercise. So the next drill is working on facilitating that range of motion for the hamstring muscles. You want to maximize that good hamstring full pull, so that hamstring should be pretty much loaded with getting into that range. This will allow that good clearance for the hamstring when you pull it. All right, just caveat here, you're not trying to put as much weight on that leg. You're just trying to put at least some pressure on it. Similarly, when it's raining, when your boots are caked with mud and your feet is a little bit heavy with that, right? So doing this Kickstarter activity, essentially, you're going to put some pressure on that leg, and the Captain Smith is going to try to kind of get his heel towards his butt about 5 times, and go. For this next drill is going to be emphasizing on waking up those fast twitch parts of the hamstring muscle, really working on, again, a faster contraction. So we call this the quick pulls. All right, so Captain Rose is going to be using a plate here, or a step. It's essentially just to mimic gravity already affecting him and is pulling him forward. Captain Smith here is just using the floor nice and flat for people that have still some pain when they impact on the ground. Right, so you can safely still do this in a pain-free position, just without the extra step. Right, so essentially that front leg, you're going to load a lot of the weight over there, and then you're going to quickly pull it. The back leg, you're not transmitting all that weight on that back leg, and you're going to execute 5 quick pulls.